Okay, so we've grabbed our movement out of the frame, or the shell, or whatever you want to call it. And we're just doing a continuity test here. And that should be about 2,000 ohms, I believe. The setting on the ohm meter right now, or on the multimeter, it's at the 20K setting. So that should be, yeah, roughly, I believe, if I'm understanding that correctly, it should be 2,000 ohms. 250, basically. So, yeah, you always want to check these things before plugging them in to see if they're not open circuit somewhere. Not that that's like I mean, that's a pretty good test right there. I think that more or less covers all the bases. I don't know. I heard on the NAWCC somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was someone was talking about the potential of, this was with Telecron electric clocks, but having one short out through the knobs or something, and somehow getting the circuit to conduct to, I don't know, I'm terrible at explaining this. The coil somehow shorting out, and the whole movement would basically become live, and it would complete the circuit. That's the gist of what I got out of it. I don't know how possible that is necessarily with a coil that's, as protected as this one, and even on a Telecron, I'd be really skeptical. I mean, at least we have multimeters and stuff like that. So I mean, worst case scenario, I can plug it in and put the probes on the case somewhere to see, hey, are the knobs live? I mean, that's what those things are invented for. You can check that type of stuff. I know, right? Explained in the most articulate way possible. So here's our Smith's movement, which I cannot remember the name of. Okay, so we've gotten this movement running again. We've cleaned it, we've oiled it. We're probably going to do some more oiling, though, because I think I definitely missed some spots. But yeah, she is running, but she's also running in the wrong direction. This has well, I better just show you. These synchronous motors start in either direction, and to get this thing running the right way, there's this wheel here which has that plastic piece, and there's a set of wires, steel wires attached to that pivot there, and they move back and forth just, like that, as that piece of plastic spins around. Something is definitely not calibrated correctly. Let's see here. It's supposed to be spinning this way. I kind of know what that hairspring's for. It's not for any sort of regulatory purpose, I don't think. This motor is literally held together by that hairspring on that collar, and it's so bizarre seeing one in a spot like this, but that's the way they've got it set up. So that piece of plastic, is it going to actually be moving around like it should? Oh, it is. Oh, but okay. That wheel has, yeah, that's kind of what we're running into here. That right there. Something's not adjusted right in here. And notice how it's not spinning. Might have to glue that thing to that wheel. I wonder if that was supposed to be held on at one point, because it really doesn't look like it's made to stop moving. Like the wheel is moving around it right now. I mean, it literally is just a piece of plastic. I can see how over the years, this thing would sort of wear out. Yeah, because I mean, now it's not doing what it should. So to get the gearbox off this movement, all you do is you undo those two screws there, and I've actually put them back on the wrong way. I've just realized that the screws should be there. These two screw holes are for a different purpose. They are for holding that front plate on there. So upon getting the front plate off, you're confronted with these gears, which all stay on there. Yeah, I know, over oiling moment. You can see that. I'm gonna wipe that off. I'm not sure how that actually happened. I don't know if I well, it looks like it's been over oiled, but I'm not sure that's quite what happened there. Anyway, yeah, I didn't, part of the reason why I'm back in here is I actually forgot to oil these special, well, yeah, the pivots are like that. So it's more of a, it's an interesting way of assembling a movement. It definitely cuts out, if not almost entirely, bushing wear. That's, if I've got that right. I mean, I guess the center of the wheel can wear out too, but that's just an interesting way of doing it. I've seen this before, but it's not often. I don't think I've ever seen a mechanical clock with this. I'm kind of surprised this technology wasn't utilized more, because that could, you know, probably benefit these. Who knows, maybe there's some reason why this wasn't adapted by most companies. Just kind of a thought, but anyway. Yeah, gears that move around the shafts. At least on some of the, you know, some of the time train. Like the center wheel, I know you can't do that, which of course they haven't done that here. But, I mean, some of the other ones, you could very easily just put it on a post like that. Here's our backwards, forwards mechanism. And that is the little piece of plastic that comes off of there. I'm not sure what is going on here. I don't know if this isn't adjusted right, or what the heck the deal is with that. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, or what's adjusted wrong there. Why that thing is not, well, it's not letting the movement run the right direction. That's basically what's happened. As for the actual motor, getting that off, there should be a screw. Oh yeah, there she is. There's a screw there, and you can get it off and clean the rotor assembly. There was really almost nothing wrong with this. I just gave it some oil, and I think there's a few plastic. Oh yeah, there were a few plastic washers and things that came off of this, which I really should put back on. I kind of forgot about it. Let's see, where, that washer I don't even think belong. Oh, there's one of them. That right there, that is one of the, yeah, that belongs to one of the gears on the gear train. There's also that washer there, which belongs to this wheel here, which has that shaft glued on. I gotta get that off. Acetone. And I think that washer there came out of a different project entirely. That's not generally a good thing to do, by the way, storing two different projects together like that. But this movement is so small that I didn't want to set up the ultrasonic cleaner and just have this thing get cleaned all by itself. I actually had a West Clock movement, an electric one, cleaned with this, because, you know, you might as well. So I doubt that washer has anything really to do with this.